We've got honey garlic chicken noodle bowls today. This one's quick and easy, and you should be in and out of the kitchen in about 45 minutes. The first thing we're going to do to start is to prepare our noodles, and these are sweet potato glass noodles. They're my favorite noodle to use for meal prep. They don't dry out in the fridge over the course of the week, they have good texture, and they take on flavor very well. Here's the brand that I like to use. It's ASSI, ASSI, whatever. If you can't find these sweet potato glass noodles, you can always just use a pad thai rice noodle or even just spaghetti noodles. I get these at my Asian grocery store. So we're going to use 8 ounces or 227 grams of the dry sweet potato glass noodles. The way that I like to prepare these is to place them in a bowl and just dump over some hot water and allow them to soak while I prepare the rest of my ingredients. I think the package might tell you to actually boil them. I don't find that's really necessary. Push those noodles down to make sure they're completely covered with the water. Now, could I use a spoon for this? Yes. But would that require me to turn around and take 3 seconds to pull a spoon out of that cupboard? Yes. Am I going to do that? No, I am not. Now for our meat, we're going to use 2 pounds or 908 grams of ground, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. If you don't have ground chicken at your store, you can just use ground turkey or any other kind of ground meat. I make my ground chicken myself, and if you want to see how I do that, here's a video. You put chicken in the food processor and then you turn it on. Goodbye. And back to the action. Let's get this chicken going. I've got a pan heating up over medium-high heat. I'm going to add a bit of oil, toss in the chicken, and then while that's going, I'm going to chop up all of my vegetables. So get your pan nice and hot over medium to medium-high heat, and then add in 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil. Then you can dump in your ground chicken and spread it out in the bottom of the pan to increase the amount of surface area of the chicken that's touching the heat. Give the top side some salt and pepper and let it cook while you cut up all of your vegetables. To start the vegetables, we're going to take 1 small onion or about 125 grams worth, and I'm just going to go down the length of this onion and cut it into thin slices. Next, we're going to take 1 medium red bell pepper or about 150 grams worth, and we're going to cut this into a medium to a large dice. Next, you're going to cut up some mushrooms. You're going to use 8 ounces or 227 grams of either white mushrooms or baby bella mushrooms, whatever is your preference. Wash the dirt away from the surface, and then you can cut each of them into thin slices. You can also grate up or mince 3 to 4 cloves of garlic or roughly 15 grams worth. I like to use a microplane to do this just to make sure I get it extra fine. And the last bit of cutting is to take a few green onions or about 25 grams and cut the tops on a bias just to get a garnish for the final dish. At some point while you are chopping up your vegetables, it's likely you'll need to tend your chicken that's still cooking in the pan. Flip it over to the other side and start breaking it up into smaller pieces. Once the chicken has been allowed to cook for a few minutes and it's now uniform in color throughout, you can remove it from the pan and store it in a dish off to the side until you are ready for it later. Place that pan back over medium-high heat and add in about 1/2 tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil, and then add in your peppers and your onions to stir fry first. Give the peppers and the onions a few minutes to cook on their own so that they can brown a bit and soften before you add in any of the remainder of your vegetables. After a few minutes, you can create some room in the center of your pan, add another 1/2 tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil, and then dump your mushrooms into the center. Let the mushrooms brown and release their water before you start stirring them around, and then once they have reached that point, you can dump in 8 ounces or 227 grams of shredded cabbage or coleslaw mix. At this point, we're almost done stir frying our vegetables, so you can add in that garlic and then stir everything up until it is well distributed. Whenever I put fresh garlic in my stir fries, I like to wait to add it until the very end because it's so prone to burning, and burnt garlic is one of the many works of the devil. It is now sauce time. We're going to do 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of soy sauce. This has the no fun cap on it. Let me see if I can pull that off real quick. There we go. No fun cap disposed of. And I put too much in. That's why they have the no fun cap. Next, into the bowl, add 1/4 cup or 84 grams of honey. Then 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of sesame oil, 1/4 cup or 80 grams of oyster sauce, and lastly, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of sriracha. Stir that mixture together vigorously until all the ingredients are combined. Now you can deal with the noodles. Drain the water away, and then I like to pass a knife through them a few times just to break them up into smaller pieces so that they are more manageable to fit onto a fork. To put everything together, move your pan back over medium heat and dump in your ground chicken. Then add in about half of your sauce and mix everything together to make sure that your vegetables and your chicken get a good coating. Once that portion of the sauce has been evenly mixed in, you can dump your noodles on the top and pour over the remainder of your sauce. A couple of more big mixes here, and once your noodles look brown in color, you are finished. This recipe is going to make 5 servings, so get out 5 of your meal prep containers and lay them out to prepare to be filled. Divide the contents of your pan evenly between your 5 containers. If you want this to be perfect, get out a digital scale, weigh the total amount of the food in the pan, divide that by 5, That's how much goes into each dish. I just eyeball it because I'm going to eat all 5 of these meals by the end of the week anyway, so it makes zero difference. You can top each dish with those chopped green onions, and there you have it. If you divide this meal into 5 servings, each serving is going to have 597 calories with about 36 grams of protein. The meals will last up to 5 days in the fridge, and I've never tried freezing glass noodles, so I'm not sure how this one will hold up in the freezer. Once the food has had the chance to cool down some, toss the lids onto each container and throw those puppies into the fridge for the week. To reheat this meal, I put it into the microwave and stir it every 30 seconds to a minute until it is hot. This is a stir fry. You can put in just about whatever you like, meat and vegetable wise, and it's going to be good. That's the nice way of me saying, don't ask me what you can replace the mushrooms with because you don't like them. Figure it out. The other day I was running around and I forgot to bring snacks with me, and I could have died from the amount of hunger that was in my belly. So I had to stop at some horseshit fast casual restaurant, and my meal was $16 and it tasted like Clorox. After that meal, I couldn't stop thinking about my appreciation for meal prep. I'm able to prepare highly nutritious, tasty meals that are in line with my fitness and nutritional goals for conservatively less than $5 a serving, and oftentimes under that. So obviously, shout out to meal prep. The written version of the recipe for these honey garlic chicken noodle bowls is linked in the description of this video below. I'll also include a link to those sweet potato glass noodles on Amazon in case you can't find them in your store. This is a quick meal. Stir fries are always fast. You should be able to finish this one in under 45 minutes and have 5 meals for the week. And lastly, I wanted to say thank you to all you subscribers. The channel hit 500,000 subs a few weeks ago, which is just an absurd number to think about. I'm going to film a Q&A video later this week, so if you have any questions that you want to ask me about meal prep, fitness, nutrition, my background, I'll answer them in that video, so leave them in the comments below. That's it for this time. See you guys next week.